Hear me out. Trapezoid of excellence. If you've never heard of the trapezoid of excellence, you've come to the right place. This is what tells us who is going to win March Madness. Almost forever, yearly, the winner of March Madness comes in this little trapezoid that couples a chart on pace and net rating. Those were a lot of words right there. Let me break it down for you. Based on where a team is placed in their net rating that is adjusted for opponents. So where you are, and we know that like net makes the world go round in basketball. Wherever you're rated on net is how good you are in the committee's eyes. If we take where you are on that scale, like Houston being the number one net team in the country, and then we tag it on to pace, the teams that are going fast, the teams that are going slow, where you sit. Are you good at defense? Are you good at offense based on net? Where is your speed based on play? In the very middle, in the upper middle portion of that graph that combines net and pace, we see the trapezoid of excellence, teams that fit into a certain category that will win it all. And that includes some Big 12 teams. Houston, fairly squarely in the trapezoid, sitting around where Virginia was when they won a national championship. UConn, Duke, Gonzaga, Illinois, UNC, Auburn, Tennessee, Purdue, all right there. And then guess what? Baylor, Iowa State, and BYU. Now it's a conglomerate of about 10, 12 teams sitting right there in the trapezoid of excellence. All of those have a shot at winning the national championship. And not just have a shot, they will. The national champion will come out of the following teams: Houston, Baylor, UConn, Duke, Iowa State, Purdue, Creighton, Gonzaga, BYU, Illinois, Tennessee, Auburn, North Carolina. Now, it might not sound crazy that I just said that. You think, well, yeah, I mean, if you name 10 teams, I could probably guess out of the 10 teams who's going to win the national championship. I'll give it to you. But that excludes teams like Arizona or Alabama or Kentucky or Kansas, Texas Tech, Michigan State, Clemson, Wisconsin, Dayton. Leave those guys on the cutting room floor. Even a TCU out of the Big 12. Leave them on the cutting room floor because right now, BYU, Baylor, Houston, Iowa State are the only teams in this conference with a chance to win a national championship based on what happens every year. Now, I could go in and I have these like conspiracy theories things. So it's not even conspiracy. It's like, oh, this team, a team that's like west of Central Texas has not won a national championship since 1998. And teams that are outside of the top 22 in Ken Pom defense and top 40 in Ken Pom offense have not won it since 2002. And this team that has this record and didn't go to his conference semifinals, they haven't won. I've narrowed it down to 3 teams that fit effectively every criteria to win March Madness this year. I have done nothing but March Madness research for the last 24 hours to figure out who are the teams that, based on this hasn't happened in 40 years, this hasn't happened in 40 years, when we connect all those dots, who comes together as the squad that is going to win the national championship? 3 of them that are in the race here. 3 of them that I will put money on at FanDuel.com to win March Madness. Purdue, North Carolina, Houston. Now, my gut, I've already told you this, is to go Iowa State. Like, I love the idea of Iowa State winning it all, but the whole history thing, the whole, like every year I would do, until this year, I would do I know that the analytics and the charts and the history all say this, but I'm going to bet on Arizona anyway. And it hasn't worked. I'm going to bet on Kansas anyway. And then it doesn't work. You think, oh, well, maybe we're on to something with trying to go with what Ken Pom has told us for the last 2 decades. And if you do that, one of these 3 teams will win the national championship: Houston, Purdue, and North Carolina. There is a ton of parity very early on. We see a bunch of little teams get poached by somebody else. We see a bunch of these small programs that are a bunch of little teams poach somebody else. We see maybe we see Samford beat Kansas, but by the time we get to the national championship game, it will have shaken out, and one of those 3 power teams will win March Madness. It's not even me. It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion. It's numbers, facts, figures about who's going to take it all in March Madness. Houston have the best shot, but the teams that will make a run from the Big 12, the teams that are in the trapezoid of excellence, include BYU, Baylor, Houston, Iowa State. They have the perfect mixture of net rating and pace of play to go a whole long way in March, and that is good. Congrats, guys. Very fun. We'll see you guys making long runs, please. This has been, it always will be. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Locked On. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk some more basketball, some more football, some more jazz like that. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day again. Dose grande.